Okay, I think we are good to go now. Hi everyone, welcome to this month's RBF. Okay, I think this month is an open forum, so yeah, welcome to this month's meetup, and I'm happy and glad to be, let me say I'm privileged to be the one that is facilitating this session because I know that I'm hosting a whole lot of great and mighty people. But right before we start, let me try and share my screen so we can have an idea of how we'll go through today's session. Moment, please. Okay. So, mm, okay. Once again, good afternoon, good evening, good morning from anywhere you're hearing me from. Welcome to this month's RBF virtual meetup. And my name is Thywill Olude. Once again, for those who don't know me, I'm a designer, I'm a student. And this month's meetup, we'll be talking basically about digital skill every man should learn. And I think I find quite interesting. And you might want to be wondering, why should every man be learning a digital skill? Why shouldn't women be learning, even though they should learn? That's on a lighter note. But yeah, why should we learn a digital skill, right? Again, like we all know, the world is becoming increasingly digital. Everything is becoming digital at a pace that, again, some of us cannot even imagine. Something can happen today, before you know, the next tomorrow another thing or another technology has taken over it, right? So I think it's one of the reasons why it's important that digital, the world is going digital. Opportunities are also coming online also. So again, it's very vital and important. Regardless of whatever field you are, there are some essential skills that I think have in this generation that are necessary. They are not even before now. They used to be like, oh, maybe if you like it or if you're interested in it. But I think right now and where we are at the moment, they are non-negotiable. Again, like I said earlier, regardless of the career, it affects our career, our money, the kind of influence we have, and again, in conclusion, I said many people use a lot of technology, but they don't even understand how it works, what goes down behind the scene. And I think that's an important thing for us to kind of take notes of. But before we start, I would like us to say a word of prayer. I know I've said it a whole lot before we begin, and I don't know if there's anybody on the call that can pray for us, who can volunteer themselves to kind of just say a word of prayer even before we move on and dive and get started with today's meetup. I would kind of unveil what the schedule is like, and then we get started. Do we have a volunteer? All right, please, wisdom, you can go.
Almighty Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for how much you've brought RBF thus far. We know it is not of our making that we're here. It is because of your grace. May your name be highly exalted in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, we're excited. We're excited for what you're doing in the lives of us men, of us boys. We are growing to your own glory, to be people of capacity, to be people who represent you in leadership, in technology, and in different aspects. Almighty Father, we pray that you equip us and you help us, and that this session with Olude, it would be to your glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. And just a quick note there. You're not having a session with me. I'm only facilitating the session. You are actually one of the speakers in the session. So you would have said,
Okay.
this session. So it would have been better if you had said, this session with me. Or this session.
Giant.
Don't worry, God understand. You understand.
But yeah, I understand. So yeah, I'm not to do a quick introduction. I don't know. I know few people on the call, but I'm pretty sure I don't know everybody here on this call. But before we get started, I want us to do like a quick introduction. I know ideally, because like I said earlier on, it's a rare privilege that I'm the one facilitating a session for great men that we have here. I know on a normal day, maybe I should have gotten like the profile of everybody and be reading it out to us, like, oh, Dr. Emmanuel Dansu, PhD, Tohoku University, he has written 1 million books, no, and all of those.
You must why me. You must why me.
Right, but then I don't know the amount of people on this call, and it will take a whole lot of time to kind of read everybody's profile. So I want us to do like some sort of quick introduction about ourselves, what we do, and maybe to bring some sort of spice to it. I want us to kind of when you introduce yourself, tell me about if you were a digital tool, what digital tool do you think you would be, and why? So, for instance, I could say, let me wind Dr. Emmanuel again. So I could say I'm Emmanuel Dansu, and if I were a digital school, maybe I would be a Google Map. And the reason for being a Google Map is because I like helping people find their way in life or whatever. Or I could say, hey, I'm a Spotify because I like bringing vibes.
Well played.
Or I could say I'm a Spotify because I like bringing vibes to the room, right? So yeah, you could just tell us a bit about yourself and just let us know if you were a digital tool, rather, what tool will it be? I don't know. Who do we get started with? From my end, yeah, I think I'm seeing Israel. So I don't know. Israel, I don't know if you can speak up, and let's get started with you. Is Israel there? Okay, so I don't. Okay.
I'm actually there.
We can hardly hear you, though.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. I thought I was in the noisy place. That's why.
Okay, maybe while we move to more quiet, please.
Your question.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said to your question, you said I should. We're talking about digital skills.
So basically, I'm just asking you to introduce yourself, right? Just tell us what you think we should know about you. I know some of us would be humble and would not want to talk about maybe our achievements and all of that, and that's fine. Just tell us basic things that you want us to know about you. And if you were a digital skill, a digital tool, not skill now, pardon me. If you were a digital tool, what tool do you think you would be? And I used someone like Dr. Emmanuel, for instance. I said he could say he's Emmanuel Danso, and he's probably, if he's a digital tool, it probably would be something like Google Maps, because he helps people find their way in life. So I don't know if you get the old gist.
Okay, yes, I get it.
Yeah. So the floor is over to you now. I don't know if you're speaking, but it's a bit challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. My name is I'm also public health, the public health advocate, NSA public health. So I'm also into voluntary also. I volunteer with the Junior Achievement Area for educational purpose. And if I have to be a digital skill, which I would like that, I would say anything artificial intelligence related to analytics that would help people to analyze something and then break something down into physical form. I think that's what analytics. Yeah.
So you'll be probably, I'm trying to think of a digital analytical tool. I'm not an analyst, maybe some Lambda
Okay. Okay, I will be something like
Microsoft Excel. Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good to know that about. So we have somebody who is in Microsoft Excel. So that means after our talk, you probably are analyzing how can this help these people in their lives and all of that. Good to know that about you. Let's move on to the next person because of our time. I think the next person I'm seeing here is Gabriel. I don't know if Gabriel is on the call. Okay, so let's move on to like Timothy. Hi Timothy, are you on the call? Okay. Seems like I don't know. Do we have I think the next person I'm seeing here is Malby.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Bankole Maugudon, and I'm privileged to be the social lead of Big Boys Forum, and I'm happy I'm here this afternoon to learn from our facilitator.
It seems like you are getting something wrong.
And also,
I'm not teaching anything.
Digital skills I will. Let me just say, CapCut, and also.
You like cutting people? Oh, I'm just joking.
You can understand. And also.
Yeah, I think what CapCut does is that it helps edit video, right? So maybe you can say, oh, maybe it's kind of similar to the person doing that. Maybe you like editing, putting stuff together for people. I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that.
I've said it.
Thank you for sharing that with us. The next person here is I think Oluwaseyi. I don't know if Oluwaseyi is there. Okay, I think I will be moving fast now because of our time. Wisdom, are you here?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Wisdom Okoro, and yeah, when it comes to digital tools, I use a lot of them. Because of my background in mechanical engineering and applied maths, I use Python, I use MATLAB, I use Excel, I also use LaTeX. So basically, yeah, I think those ones. So anything that has to do with writing math, doing math, or analyzing data or machine learning, yeah. So those are my core tools.
Yeah, so again, so that you get the gist very well. I'm not asking as much as I'm asking for tools, I'm not necessarily asking maybe the tool that you like using in this point. I'm asking of the tool that you think would fit your own personality. So I'm like, if me, Wisdom, if I were to be a tool, right, maybe I would be probably one of those tools you mentioned. And the reason why you think you would be that.
Oh.
I don't know if you were here when we got started.
Oh,
so
I
missed that.
I must have missed that. I'm so sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
All right. I would say LaTeX because I feel like LaTeX is one of those tools that makes math beautiful, and I think math is beautiful. It's a way I express myself, and so I would say LaTeX. Yeah, it's just one. That's it for me. Hope that's okay.
Yeah, I know that's fine. Again, just wanted to know the two that you feel like, so that means if I'm seeing Wisdom, I can remember LaTeX. If I'm seeing someone like Israel, I can remember Excel. If I'm seeing someone like Maugbe, I think Maugbe said CapCut, right?
Yes.
So again, I can attached to each and every one of us. Then I think I have Israel here. Israel, can you? Israel? Is Israel here? Okay. Not the first Israel. I know I'm seeing Israel, Viano Israel. I know there's Ogushola Israel. Okay, I'm not sure if he's hearing us, but I think I'll have to move on. Again, I think we have Dr. Emmanuel here. I don't know if Doctor should introduce himself because I'm not sure if he needs any introduction. Right.
Yes, I'm Emmanuel Jason Dansu. If I were to be a digital tool, I'll be a Google map. So that was very profound. You thought you were just cruising, right? But sincerely, that better captures. I didn't think about this before, but I think Google Map will be a nice thing because I really like people. I don't like people getting stuck. I want you to find it. I want you to have a direction. Yeah. Thank you for coming up with it.
Yeah, I'm in the spirit, I guess.
Like 105%.
So I'm trying to. I don't know. I think my screen has stopped sharing again. Let me see if I can share that back.
Okay, you're the one sharing it.
Sorry?
I wanted to say you're the one who's sharing the your screen.
Yes. So here's like a quick I think it has stopped sharing again, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with Google. So now it's not even allowing me share my screen again. So strange reasons. Now this is interesting. Okay, so again, I don't want this to delay us. I don't know why Google Meet is not allowing me to share my screen again for some reason. Okay, I think I have a message in the group. He said, this from Oluwaseyi. He said, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I'm not able to use the audio at the moment from here. Thank you, Dr. Dansu, for this great opportunity for this meetup once again. Olude, thank you for the great work and facilitation. I work within the software development space, more particularly software testing and quality assurance. If I were to be a software tool, it's really quite difficult for me to think of one at the moment, and that's also very fine also. Okay, but let's just get started with it. For some reasons, I don't know why the presentation button is not working on my end again.
Can you send me the presentation? Can you send me the slide so I can try to share from my end?
Okay, let me just quickly
Just send it to WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've shared that with you. I don't know if you've received that. But yeah, while we are figuring that out, so here's just like a quick to-do list of what we are trying to achieve today. I felt the whole goal of the session we are having today, because I've seen that a lot of people are saying, oh, we want to learn from Thywill, blah blah blah. And again, I think we are missing the whole point. The goal is that we should learn from each and every one of us. Myself, my only goal here is to come and facilitate. And what that means is that I'm only here to say, oh, what is your name? Just like I'm doing now. Can we introduce ourselves? Can just to facilitate the whole session, basically, right? So as much as possible, we would all be learning from each and every one of us here today. And I believe that for each and every one of us that is on this call, we have one tool or the other that we could actually teach. And regardless of whatever your background experience is, I believe that there is one particular, it can even be as simple as maybe a text message, a prompt, or something that you think you discovered or that you learned somewhere that really works well for you. So yeah, we would be learning from each other. We'll try as much as possible to discover useful digital tools. Then we'll share experiences of how we've used that particular tool, and I try and identify skills that maybe recommend skills that each and every one of us should learn as much as possible. And like I said, everyone is a contributor. Nobody is a listener for this call. So like we've done this short introduction, how it works. We've done this short introduction, and after the introduction, I want to open this up for discussions. Then from the discussion, we'll talk about our key take away from the session, what we think we can learn. So, and here's how it would go. I want to start with opening the floor. I know each and every one of us would have one skill or the other that we've probably found useful at some point in our lives, right?
Are you seeing the slide now?
Okay, yes, I can. Okay, Doc, I didn't know you were. I was already on my own. Okay, I think.
Yeah, we're
yes,
seeing
I can
this
see.
slide.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir. So yeah, I think this was where we are. So everyone, like I was saying, each and every one of us, I believe that we should be able to contribute one thing or the other. It can even be regardless of the experience, right? We have one thing. So one of the things I've also tried to do is that I've tried to like list some skills down so that while we are going through it, you could see which one kind of plays to your strength. And again, this is just like a quick chat GPT prompt, right? To kind of help me list out skills. So it might be beyond this. You could maybe I might have omitted maybe one of the things that you feel like, oh, you want to show the world, you want to teach someone. And like I said, there's nothing too small and really there's nothing too big. There are some skills that you could actually quickly show us at the moment, and there are some skills that you probably would just recommend that, hey guys, maybe because of how technology is moving, you guys should look at this, you guys should prioritize learning this or that. Like I said, the whole goal is no skill is useless, right? And the whole goal is to get every one of us to kind of participate in this. So I have the list of skills like everyone should. I said everyday digital skills, and one of the skills that we wrote here is managing passwords securely, organizing digital files, using cloud storage, basic spreadsheet skills. So for somebody who is doing the Excel, but I think that should be Israel, you could talk about maybe one or two things that you think every basic person should know about Excel or spreadsheet, basically, or how to search on Google effectively. If you have like a trick, I know some people, there's like a way, maybe there are some keywords that you should add to your search that would enhance the results you're getting. Some people might be scanning and signing documents, or like maybe there's a way you think that, oh, you should have your digital signature somewhere on your phone or on your computer so that when you're trying to sign a document, you find it easier and all of that. Basically, these are just digital skills, everyday digital skills that I came across. I don't know if at this point, maybe I will pause here. If you think there are skills that you think we should mention that are probably not here. I don't know. Like I said, it's an open flow. I don't like calling in spot. I don't like putting anybody on the spot. But if nobody responds to me, I'll be tempted to kind of point out or call someone. So please, okay, someone is raising up their hand. I'm just saying this. Bright, please, you have the floor, Bright. Bright, are you there? Okay, back to our discussion. So I'm at everyday digital skills, right? Do you think there are some everyday skills that are not mentioned yet that you feel like it's important for every man that they should know about today? Okay, nobody is answering me now. I guess I probably would have to point somehow now. Let me look at my call. I'm seeing Adi Damola. I'm sorry. Okay, you can go, Israel. Thank you.
Can I go on, sir?
Yes, please.
I think presentation, how to present using digital technologies like PowerPoint. All those things to make work very easy. So when you display images and videos, it will be easy for people to understand better instead of just normal messages.
Amazing.
I think that's what be added.
Thank you for that addition. So presentation skill is actually a very core skill today. How you communicate to people would actually determine how they receive your message. So knowing how to do basic presentation skill is very important. Thank you for that addition. Maybe we'll get to talk about it. Somebody said, okay, I think Oluwaseyi Adedaramola said quick design and Photoshop skill, obviously. So they are saying design should no longer be a luxury today. Like in the world we are today, everybody should have should know some pretty basic design skills. Maybe I don't know if we listed this out, but probably as the discussion moves on for that, we probably would touch some part of that also. But thank you for also pointing that out. So let me just quickly scroll through the skills before I open the floor finally for everyone to make their contribution on what skills they think they want us to know, or they think they can teach us. So I think we can, these are digital skills. We can move to the next skills now. So we talked about safety and security. Maybe people, I don't know if anybody's involved in cybersecurity here. You could probably have one or two things to teach us here. How to know if an email is a scam. Again, in the world of MMM and all of that, there are ways that you should be, or these are skills that you should be armed with to know and identify what is a scam and what is real, right? Using two-factor authentication. I'm pretty sure this should no longer be a luxury in today's world. Everybody should know about 2FA, protecting your personal information, say like, you know, your browsing history and all of that. What are safe browsing habits? What are, in this world where they can practically send you anything on WhatsApp, to click on this link to get $1 million and all of that? What are things that, these are skills that we think that we should know and try and identify and know that, oh, this is real, this is not real, basically. So again, this particular thing is talking about safety skills that you should have as a person that is using the internet. I think let's quickly browse through the other skills. Yeah, productivity skills. We have how to use task management apps. I'm trying to remember that. So we have apps like Notion. What was the name of the other one? Notion, I think, for the calendar, how to maybe create schedules with your calendar apps, automation tools, note-taking systems. Okay, nobody is using a note taker yet. I know there are some people, when they join calls like this, they join them with their AI note takers, right? We have
Israel used to do that. I wonder why he's not doing that today.
Oh, okay, interesting. Then we have collaboration tools also, like Miro, Figma, and all of those tools. And again, I'm pointing, like I said, I'm not the speaker. We all are the speaker, and I'm just pointing all of this out so that it can help make our conversations easier to identify tools. It can go beyond this. I know there are probably a whole lot of things that are not listed here, which is part of the whole essence of this session, so that we could also talk about tools. Okay, somebody is saying program implementation tool. I don't know what that is. However, I think, okay, maybe Israel, I don't know if you can speak. I don't know what program implementation tool is. Maybe you want to explain it to us and talk about that. I don't know if it's only from my hand, but it's a bit challenging hearing you.
Okay, I said program implementation tools like project management tools like Meetup, Jira, and Asana.
Oh, okay.
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I don't know. I think your network is a bit low, actually. I don't know if it's the network or you're a bit far from your mic or something. Okay, I think he's given us some example like ClickUp, Asana. I think I know I've heard of Asana. But again, the whole goal also is not just to tell us what to learn. I think it's also important to kind of explain why, right? So we want to know that, oh, we are learning ClickUp. What will ClickUp do for me as a person, right? Me, I mean, for somebody like me that is in arts and design, why do you think I should learn ClickUp? Why do you think it's an essential skill for me to learn today?
Okay. The ClickUp, the tools I mentioned are like a project management tool.
Oh, okay.
They help in implementing programs like assigning duties to managers to handle. And then in that field, there's an opportunity for each manager, or let me say the team lead, to view the performances of the task given to each manager or to the team. So it's a way of reporting their progresses their progresses, their tasks into that sheet. So for them to follow up. And aside those two, we are also make use of the Google Workspace, Google Forms, Google Sheets, and all that to also follow up our program. To also monitor our program, like Google Drive also, to also submit maybe progresses of programs and all that. So they are used for programs implementation to monitor progress, to assign duties to managers or to teams, and then also for reporting. Yes, for reporting of their assignment.
Thank you very much for that. I think that's very insightful. I don't know how this call will go, but again, I'm somebody that loves practically a lot, maybe because of my skill. So, for instance, when you talk, and I'm pretty sure I also do not want to catch you so that way. I would have loved like a quick demonstration, like, oh, this is say for instance Google Form, and this is how we can use Google Form. But yeah, I understand that it might be a bit too urgent, but then it's fine. But I think it's also something that we should note. Sorry?
Okay, let me. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me speak on the Google Form. Like, take for example, the Google Form, when it has to given, let's say a team is assigned to maybe collect some data, or assigned to collect some data, or after some programs, they may decide to implement the Google Form to collect those data, and then when they collected those data, they will make the link viewable for other members, or they assign the things that they want to build, that they want them to build the results of such form. Take for example, when the Google Form is created, you can decide to set it as anyone can view it, and then you can also decide to set it to as maybe the managers in charge, maybe the head or the supervising team to also view the link, and then the link will be submitted to Google Drive. Yes, if you have the special folder in the Google Drive whereby the team shall also view it and see progresses that are being made. And for the Google Drive also, it's also a reporting sheet whereby they can try to create maybe a folder whereby teams will be able to submit their progresses. Let's say for example, a program was implemented and they have to collect a picture and media, let's say media. So the team lead might decide, okay, let me create a folder whereby my team can only access it and also the supervisory team. So that's.
Yeah, thank you very much for that extensive explanation and description. I think that's very, very, very insightful. And I think a lot of people who are into business or even in the corporate world, they would find this very useful and valid. So somebody wrote here that yeah, definitely also basic data analytical skills, i.e. basic statistical data understanding and data illustration and plot tools. You mustn't look for a data analyst to be able to understand and interpret data at a basic surface, right? I don't know if Oluwaseyi could talk, but again, maybe a bit of insight into that would be helpful. So for instance, like, and I also do know, I like when we are talking, I want us to see it from other people's worldview, and I always use myself as an instance. So for instance, I'm an artist, I paint with this thing. So what is, for me, what do you mean by data? How do you think someone like myself would interpret data, and where do you think that I can now start using some of these tools or skill that you described? Or do you think maybe I've been doing data analytics already? Maybe for somebody that is collecting different references, maybe for an artist, those pictures that you're collecting is your own. I don't know if can Oluwaseyi speak. I don't know if you're in a good place to talk though. Okay, I'm not sure if. Okay, I don't know if he was the one that said he could. Oh, okay, I think he was. Sorry about that. He already said he can't use his audio. My apologies. So yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to say, okay, if you could help people also break this down a bit so that they can understand how some of these things can relate to them. I also do not want us to just limit it to the technical terms or technical view alone, because I pretty much believe that a lot of people on this call are from different backgrounds and different fields and specializations. So we also want to, as much as possible, whatever skill we are talking about, we want them to be able to relate to it, right? So yeah, I think let's just quickly move on to other skills. And like I said, please, you can interrupt me at any time. If you think that, oh, there are things that we should talk about that I'm not mentioning, please do well to kind of like interrupt me. I said money and opportunity skills. We can talk about freelancing platform. I used to be a freelancer for some time, so I think I can speak a bit about this. I know about platforms like Upwork, Fiverr. Yeah, a lot of people are clapping. I don't know why you are clapping, because I don't do freelancing again, by the way, but I think I can speak a bit, right? So I know we have platforms like Fiverr, Upwork. I think I did both for a while. Again, all of those platforms, a lot of things changes, right? And I'm pretty sure it's not the same like when it used to be, maybe when I was still very active on those platforms. So I can speak a bit about Upwork. The way Upwork work is that you have to have like a digital skill. So you could either be a product designer, a graphics designer, a writer, a video editor. But again, you have to have a good skill. One of the things I tell people right then, when I was still doing freelancing actively, if they tell me they want to freelance, one of the things I know I tell them is that just go to those platforms and search for your skills. So, for instance, if I was a data analyst, or if let me say if I was a video editor, I go to a platform like Upwork, for instance, and search video editor. I click on the profile of the top 5 people that comes up, and I check their portfolio. I check the work they do. And the first question I ask myself is that these people, this work that I'm seeing, do I think the work that I'm doing currently, or whatever skill, the work I'm producing currently, can it match up or can it even beat what these guys are currently doing? If the answer is no, maybe you want to take out time to go and sharpen your skill, right? Because again, it's a very, very competitive market, right? And I think beyond skill is one part of it, and you want to ensure that you've kind of checked that box here, that the skill is there. And a lot of people, when they talk about skill, they judge it with and I'm saying this with, of course, with the Nigerian standard. So you measure your skill against a lot of people in your environment, and you want to be competing on a global scale, right? So as much as possible, when I tell people go to those platforms, look at the top 5 people, there's high probability that those top 5 people, they are from different aspects or different countries in the world, and those are people you want to be competing with. Nobody cares about where you come from. Do you have the skill, right? That's number one. Then the number 2 thing is setting up of the whole account. It takes a whole lot of effort trying to set up the account, knowing the right keywords to use, knowing the right profile, knowing the right positioning, how to make your profile more visible. Those are like important things to also consider when you're trying to create an account on those platforms. Then I think for a platform like Upwork, I think your proposal sending skills is one important thing too. You have to understand how to send proposal. You have to understand some bit of human psychology, how people think. How do you think they would view whatever it is you're presenting? I don't want to talk much of this on our time, because we could just take a hold. Maybe it could be another session on it. So, however, if you have any question concerning freelancing, I think you can always put it on the group, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are also on the group that can contribute to that. We talked about online side also. I don't know much about this. Probably somebody can be here. I know that. Okay, I think Wisdom has some questions. What's that, please, Wisdom? Yeah, Wisdom, I can see you're raising your hands.
All right. Yeah. Can I speak now?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I really love how you were talking about positioning yourself in freelance platforms. I feel like it's so important because nowadays, I mean, if you go to Twitter now and you see what people are doing, maybe people have different brands, that they are showcasing, and it can just be so overwhelming because the market is always changing. Lots of things are changing, priorities are changing, and it's almost like you're trying to catch up. If someone says learn a particular skill, it's one thing to learn a particular skill, but I think it's very crucial for us to learn how to position ourselves, especially at the times. So I don't know if you can emphasize on how we can do that better, especially for people who are beginning their branding careers, their freelancing branding careers.
Okay. I think Mr. Sejiro, I don't know if that's a response to his question, but I think I think I can let you have the floor.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I want to add to what you said earlier, and I also want to answer wisdom question. Am I permitted, sir?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So for the overwhelming part, like for the freelance, we all know that the internet space is just quite big. And for me, I started branding for a while and I tried using Upwork and Fiverr and the like. So, well, I get to notice there were a lot of people, and even that on the same platform we have scammers and all, and sometimes it can just be so overwhelming, like you said. So, one thing, let's say, for example, branding, right? So, you it's a thing to have the skill set and it's a thing to have the visibility. Let's say, for example, you are a designer and people have to see your work. So it might take you for about 6 months or 1 year or thereabout. In the process of building your skills, you can also push your work. There's what we call show your work. So you can also put your work on various platforms. Let's say Instagram, for example. You can put your work there for the space of 3 months, and by the end of the day, you have that visibility, and you also have a portfolio kind of thing. So by the time you continue doing that, and when people reach out or people even see those certain work that you have done in the past, people want to reach out to you. And a place I get to understand is maybe sometimes a place of volunteering for people as well, in dealing with them physically or getting to talk with them one on one and various things like that. So it might just take a while. For me, I did not get to know how Upwork and Fiverr works because I find it so overwhelming as well. So for me, I think that's just the addition for me too.
Yeah, thank you very much for that particular one. So he's saying that also you want to, as much as you're building your skill, you want to also position yourself very well, which is I think is also very important. It is not enough to have the skill. One important thing to also consider is how can that skill translate into something tangible. And I think positioning is one of the ways that can help. And I think you mentioned something very vital also, which I think kind of helped me a bit, especially when I was starting out, which is volunteering. I think that's also one thing a lot of people want to try, especially if you're just learning a skill. I believe that's one of the easiest way to build your skill. If you are like me, I don't like learning in isolation, in the sense that I don't know how people sit down with maybe tutorials and just keep watching and trying to use that tutorial to work on a demo project. And when I say demo project, to work like on a fictional project. No, maybe because me off of my head, I just know that this thing is fiction. What I'm building is not really. So it makes it hard for me to kind of continue that learning. However, I know myself. I know that when I'm working on a real project, so when I know that, oh, this thing I'm working on is real, is somebody, I'm using it to help someone's business, I'm using it to help someone's foundation, or even, and I think one hack is if you are in one of the places that a lot of people kind of have the opportunity to also contribute is in the church. I think the church is also a very good place to build whatever skill that you're learning. If you can join again, maybe for instance, if you can join the media team in your church, it's one of those ways that you can use to quickly build up and speed up your skill, right? So again, looking for volunteering opportunities to help you kind of scale up and quickly build up whatever skill you learn. And like you said, it's a very important thing to also know how to position yourself. I might not be able to talk much about maybe the social media part and all of that because myself, I'm not. I'm. It's probably one of those places that I'm defaulting, right? For again, maybe when it comes to platform specific visibility. Maybe I can talk a bit about that. And I don't know if anybody also has another contribution, especially maybe positioning yourself generally and making yourself more visible. I don't know if there's anybody who has more contribution concerning that. Okay, so let's just quickly run through I think we talked about freelancing platform, online side also. I would like to talk about online side also. I think there are some people that, I don't know, I've never tried that before. I don't know if there's anybody on the call that has tried the online side also thing. But I know there are some people that would say, oh, you could take some questionnaires. I think we have platform like Amazon Talk or something that they pay people to kind of take part in some questionnaires. I know there are several skills like that. I mean, platforms like that they do, but again, I'm not vast. I don't know if there's anybody on this code that is probably very vast there. Okay, I think Doctor, you're showing the wrong slide. I think this is AI skills. I think there is still the former slide. Oh no. I think the slide before the AI skills. Okay, yeah, I think this was where we are. Then selling products online. I know there are a lot of people who are doing what do we call it now? E-commerce, right? I don't know if there's anybody vast about those. These are not my own strong forte, but I'm pretty sure maybe we would have one or two people that have had experience with all of those things. And if they want to talk about it, please kindly just signify, or you can actually cut me in. Then we have personal branding. I think again, what the person that came up, I think that was, is it Sergio? I think he kind of touched a bit on personal branding. Maybe someone like Doctor can talk a bit about personal branding. Actually, I think Dr. Emmanuel should be able to speak one or two things about personal branding. So then digital marketing basics. I don't know if Doctor wants to say anything about that.
Well, I'll wait to, because I'm passionate about the last slide on AI, because I am a living testimony of that last slide. So I'd rather reserve my energy for that.
Okay, so before we move to the next slide, I don't know if there's anybody who has anything to contribute or any skill to talk about in this particular slide. Okay, so let's move to Doctor's slide. Okay, I think Sergio still wants to say something.
Doctor slide.
Yes. Oh, okay. That's for personal branding. So I just want to add to personal branding too. So for me, right, I noticed that personal branding is just like having heads on the cake of whatever you want to do or whatever you are doing for your audience. Let's say, for example, a designer or everybody individually. So like your personal brand is, let's assume
Let
I
me
know
cut you
wisdom
in.
now. So when I okay.
Sorry, I just again pardon me, please. If you want to give us instance,
Okay.
I know because you're a designer, it's easy to use design as an example. But
Oh,
I also factor in the
okay.
fact that not everybody here is a designer. I want to, so you can go into someone like, I say, as for instance, if you're a mathematician like Dr. Dansu now, I think that would make it common,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay, great. Yes. Let me use Dr. Dazu. Sorry, sir. Like let me
No,
use
that's
him for
fine. Again, I
example
just
for
want everybody to be able to
personal
get from
branding.
your point of view.
Yes, permit me to use that, Doctor, sir.
Everybody's allowed to whine me.
Because I thought we are not using, but we are learning from you too, sir. Yes. So for example, now I noticed the aim posting regularly, and anytime I get to hear about EJD, there are various things that comes to my mind. It is either AI or mathematics or research or academics. Why? Because I've seen him post things around those topics several times. So that even for me to even it might have other habits or it might have other things that I get to do, but me seeing him posting about these things are what I know about him. So in that way, it has given me like a sort of personal branding. And let's say for a medical student that maybe also play football, but I don't know the other part of him playing football, and all I just know is he posts about his medical research, about hospitals, maybe on his WhatsApp status, about different things that he gets to do. And I don't know him before. It's already registered in my mind that okay, this is this person is into medical. And also another part of personal branding that I get to like tell people is the maybe let's say for example, yeah, the picture, let's say our profile pictures. I think is one thing I get to know while I was still young and I have a very big head. I would just post like take any picture and I'll just use it for my profile picture. I mean, sometimes we can have a very good pictures with our phone and just keep it just like EJ is smiling and his picture looks nice. That can last him for a while, maybe let's say 5 to 10 years, and that's really nice. So personal branding is just like what we do daily with people, online, physical, like what they get to know about us and know. Then the place of skill set and other things too can also come on board.
Yeah, I think thank you very much for that. Amazing insight. I think when you were talking, it kind of took me back to some branding workshop or classes that I've done earlier on. So they would say, what if you were to define a brand, what is a brand? So we would say that a brand is people's impression about something, right? And everything is actually a brand, right? So far you can have a thought about something, everything is a brand. So even right from this call, people who don't know me before, they already have a perception about myself. Some might not even be from this call. Some maybe it's from the name. They might like they just saw Olude. There's like a particular perception they've already had. Some people maybe they've had a bad experience with an Olude before. When they see Olude, that's like a perception they have about Olude. So they don't even really care if they know me or not. But because they've seen that particular Olude, there's already like a perceived notion about that name. That's a brand, people's impression about. While branding is the intentional act of shaping that impression. So that means even if you've had a particular impression or perception about me before, it is now on me to kind of now. So while you're on this call, while we are discussing, you will now be like, okay, this guy is necessarily not the kind of person that I have put in my head. Maybe, okay, I think he's actually better. But so you see that act of me trying to shaping that perception you have about me is what they call branding. And like I said earlier on, everything is a brand. So whether you like it or not, some people will like, oh, what's my business with personal branding? Is for big people and all of that, which is not true. Each and every one of us, whether we like it or not, there's already an impression that people have of us out there, right? So it's the onus is on you to kind of ensure that you shape that impression. You try to like formulate how people perceive you. You ensure that there's a particular way you want people to see you, and you ensure that you communicate that across. And I think that process is what we call brand. I don't want us to spend a whole lot of time. I think, like I said, again, all of this conversation, I believe that should not end here. If we still have any questions, I think it's one of the reasons why we have the group, right? It's for us to push out questions and have answers like this, because I know that if we are going to start talking on each and everything, would probably spend a whole lot of time here, right? So thank you very much. I think we can move to the next slide right now, which is Dr. Dansu's slide. So we have for AI skills, I think the ones I have here, how to write better prompts, how to use AI for productivity, AI for research, AI for learning faster, AI for business. I don't know whatever AI for something that I'm missing. Oh, sorry, I just saw a message. This person says, this is the first Olude I have heard of, actually. Brand yourself for me. Interesting. So back to our AI skill. I don't know, do we have any skill that we think should be here that is not here, especially as it relates to AI? Again, I know there's a whole lot of a wide range of things people are using for AI today, using with AI today. I don't know if there's anything that we are missing out that is not here, or if there's anything here that you want to talk about. Please, can you just speak up now? That's a joke. Well, yeah, please, if there's anybody who would love to touch on any of this topic, if you have experience with any of these things, there might be people that feel like, oh, so for instance, I've had somebody who's trying to kind of like look for something. I think maybe it was with ChatGPT, and he could not really get the answer. And somebody who could write a better prompt, the same thing they were trying to look for, he was able to kind of like get that in. So if you are here and you think that, oh, I think I'm a better prompt writer, I think so people have testified to it, you can please do well to kind of
Is this
speak up
where I
and
can talk,
share.
or I have to wait for the person, right?
No,
Can I talk at this
I
point?
think you can talk, but I think I would
Okay.
like Doctor to come last. I don't know if we have anybody that would
Okay,
still love
nice.
to
Okay.
talk before Doctor speaks. So let me call names because I feel like every one of us, one way or the other, we've had experience. Ayodeji, I think you've had experience with AI, and there's one thing you should be able to tell me. It can even be a tool. Maybe you've discovered one new
I
AI
think
tool
Margaret
that is out there
should
that people are
talk
not
here,
exploring.
because I know Margaret came in like it came when it became social brand social lead. You know, I just explained a little bit of how he can use AI to do his job, and he has. I mean, each time he does those summaries, I'm so impressed. I don't know what else he has learned after that time.
Uncle Maogbe. Mijali.
Which one is up? Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir. I want to. I will talk a little bit about it. Number one, I want to thank Prof for giving me that opportunity, because I learned a lot from that that part of prompt, because it has really helped me in many ways, because you know is a part that we also need to learn, because that prompt, if you don't give AI the prompt, it will just give you rubbish answer. Understand? So, and it has really helped me in even writing some things, even when I'm doing my video editing. There are some things that will just come to my mind. I don't know how to put it, but I will just type it, like put it on AI, and it will just give me the exact thing I'm looking for. So I think AI prompt is a thing that we should look into. We should also look into, and we should learn from it. And also, I just want to divert a little. This aspect of um, video editing and AI videos that is common now, I think is a skill that people need to learn. You need to know how to detect an AI video, because if we are not careful, it's going to turn our society to something else, because some people did not know the difference between a video that is AI generated and the real video. They will just generalize everything that this is true, whereas it's generated. We need to learn. So if you don't know it, we should try to learn. You understand? You can even go to the AI and said, how can I identify AI generated video? So I think we need to learn it, and it's going to help us. And also, if you learn it, we will be able to tell, especially our parents. Some of them, they will just send some video to you that this thing is real. You just be, this one is generated by AI now. So you'll be able to teach them and tell them that this is what you need to learn. This AI generated video. This is not real. This is a real video. So I think and also I want to talk about video editing too. So it's a skill that we need to learn, because it's a powerful way of communicating. Like Prof now, we know that he's a YouTuber. So all this video is uploading, I think he normally edits it by himself. So it's a thing that we can all learn, and we can gain a lot from it. It's very, very easy. So far you can learn, you can read, you can actually use it. Um, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that insight. That was very profound. So I think AI literacy is also very one important skill that everyone should arm themselves with, especially with the rapid development of AI. You should be able to identify what is AI from, or differentiate rather what is AI from what is real. And I think that's a very profound thing, especially in today's world that we are in, where it's very hard and the line is getting very, very blurry, right? So I think it's something that very important that you noted out there. And also, in order to in addition to, I don't know if Dr. would add to it, but in addition to writing better context prompts, right, I think there are 5 rules, if I can still remember, that they will tell you to kind of put into consideration when you are writing a prompt for you to get like the best result from that particular prompt. So they will tell you that, oh, when you're giving it a prompt, you should tell AI to assume a role. I think they call it RTTPOC. I learned that at one conference like that. So you should tell it to assume a role. For instance, you could say, oh, I'm a mathematician. Depending on whatever question or whatever thing you are trying to generate with it, you tell him to assume a role. Then you should give it a task. You now tell it, oh, I want to design a web app for this so thing. Then you should give it a tone. So this is how I want you to be, or this is what I want you to do. Then you should give it like a purpose or context. So the context will be, this web app is for this so thing, and this is what it should be doing, right? Then you should also give it an outcome. Tell it what exactly you want to get from it. Then you should add some constraints, what it should not do. Right. I think I can paste this later. I think they call it the RT. Or you could also Google and read more about that. I think they said if you can supply all of those things, it will help your prompts get better. It will help AI give you more good and better prompts than to just doing something very generic. I think somebody is also raising up their hands. Timothy. Okay, you can speak, Timothy.
I have a question, sir. I have actually dropped message. So the thing is, since AI is evolving very fast, what special AI skills should a young person focus on today to stay ahead of tech business and personal productivity over the next 2 to 3 years?
I can hardly hear you though, Timothy. I don't know if maybe that's from my end, but it's a bit hard to hear what you just asked.
There's a message in the chat, actually. I think that can help better.
Oh, let me see. Okay, Timothy says, since AI is evolving very fast, what specific AI skill should a young person focus on today to stay ahead in tech, business, and personal productivity over the next 2 to 3 years? That's an interesting question, which I'm not even sure if experts kind of have answers to today, because again, I will give you an example. So for instance, when AI started, a lot of, especially when it entered the design space fully as product designers, a lot of people say, oh, even though AI would do this skill, it will do all of the old designing, that one of the things that AI cannot do is AI cannot have taste, that humans would also have to have the taste. But again, even as time goes on, we see that these things are actually even getting way better than design, even way much more. An entry level, it would beat you. So even the taste that a lot of people are campaigning for, that AI does not have taste. AI also learns from human, right? Again, it is we humans that define what taste is. And if you can say, oh, this is what I consider as a very beautiful thing, or this is what I consider as a very functional thing, AI can obviously learn that over time and get better at it and all of that. So that your question is a bit tricky, and I'm not sure if there's really one thing that I can answer. There's a direct question. Luckily enough, I think there's a new what's it called? I think Stofemi Lazarus released one. This is podcast it does. I think there's like a new series, particularly on the discussion around AI. And I think the person that was invited, one of the things that he said in his own opinion was that I think if you want to learn any skill, it would have to be a skill that is maybe heavily research based, right? Where you can generate new knowledge. Because again, if it's an already existing knowledge, it's going to be hard for you as a human being to keep up with AI, because if it's already existing, AI can pretty much work with that, right? However, I think he also talked about things like thought leadership and all of that. It's a very tricky question to answer, and I don't know if there's anybody on this call too. So again, because I feel like if anybody tells you that this is what you should go and learn, trust me, you'll be surprised that maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, ChatGPT can release a new model that already handles that thing perfectly, right? And so that's why I said I would not say, oh, this is what you should focus on, or this is what. I think the whole goal should be how to leverage AI for whatever it is you find yourself doing. And this is my own personal opinion, and I'm pretty sure we have some maybe professionals here or anybody here that can speak better to that. I don't know if there's anybody that can contribute to that question. Okay, so if I don't know if anybody is not speaking, maybe this is a good time for Dr. Emmanuel to come in.
Right. Thank you so much for the facilitation. It's been a very excellent session. I think I want to start from personal branding. So I think this one thing is clear. Whether so you have a personal brand, you have a personal brand, whether you are aware or not, no matter who you are, you have a personal brand. Because once people see you, there's something they associate with you. So in that case, it means there are two types of people. Then it means that there are people who are intentionally building their brand, and there are people who are just unintentional about it. Whatever it is, you have a brand. So now there was one during my PhD. Then I think there was this guy from this South African guy I used to listen to, Douglas Kruger. I think he's into talking like all these Toastmasters. I think he has won some international competition in speaking. Then he's also into business and everything. And he said some things about how to I don't know how, I've forgotten the title he gives those things. But so when it comes to the branding thing, he talks about 3 things. He said, number 1, knowledge. All of us have some kind of knowledge, especially if you are here. There's something you are definitely good at. For me, the easiest thing I could think of then was mathematics. So, I mean, I discovered I've always had that maths knowledge. I've always taught mathematics, even right from primary school. Like whatever I knew, I'd always taught people then. So the knowledge thing was there. Then apart from knowledge, personality. So the next level is personality. Now you have knowledge, right? There are some people many people are good at mathematics. Maybe some people are even better at maths than me somewhere, but nobody knows them, right? So the personality is not like maybe you have some social capital and people know you, they can vouch for you and everything. And the next thing is now publicity. So at that point, I discovered I was lacking in publicity in a way. I mean, of course, I had publicity within a particular group, right? And so, and from what I learned from everything he said was that when you think about something, the first 2 or 3 people they think about, those are the people who have actually established their brand. In fact, I think, okay, yeah, in our church in Akure, we have a kind of alumni group for the church, people who have passed through the church and are all over the world. Somebody said something that best known is better than best. How do I put it now? The person that is best known is better than the person that knows best. Like here are 2 mathematicians. I'm a mathematician, and there's someone who is way better than me. Of course, I can't say I'm the best mathematician in the world, right? Except I want to hype myself, right? So there is that. Amen. I receive it. So there's that person who maybe knows better, but nobody knows the person. So, and when they are thinking of mathematics, like at least to a large extent today, if math crosses your mind, one of the first people you want to think about is me, right? And I've seen totally today alone, I had concurrent sessions talking. I spoke at the Mathematical Association of Nigeria, Lagos chapter. I spoke there today and because today is March 34, Pi Day 3/14. So today is Pi Day, and they were talking about how maths and hope is the theme. So I spoke there. While doing that, there's this Abdulatif Gabes from Olabisi Onabanjo University also had a pie event like that. So I had to even ask them for the time so I could fit into the two, because the two were overlapping at some point. So, and that's to tell me that, okay, it means I have not got to that point where, oh, when people are thinking maths, they are thinking about me. And this started like 5 or 6 years ago, right? When I became conscious of this whole idea of publicity. So you can, and the funny thing is, it's very easy for us, as especially most of us that are Christians, it's very easy for us to have this humility to ourselves that, oh, I don't want anybody to know me and this and that. Of course, now sometimes people can easily, there's this discussion I used to have with my wife. She opened my Facebook account when we're in 2009. I think we're in 400 level. She opened my Facebook account because she had a laptop I didn't have. So, but I remember when we were on IT, she borrowed me a laptop. She went to Lagos for her IT at one company like that. I think she had all those resources. But I went to a kind of computer center kind of place, but we also had some training arm like that. So I was using a laptop. So then I was always posting. So then I learned this thing about the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs has 31 chapters, and most days of the week. Oh, Timothy Josiah was born in 2009. Now, so so I was so every day I would post okay, like today is March 14, for instance. So today from morning till night, I'm posting verses from the book of Proverbs like that. Then I was basically doing two things, and I'll post from the book of Proverbs. Then I'll greet everybody who was having their birthday. I had time, like plenty of time, because I was working in a computer place. I was at the reception. I started as a receptionist in that place. So while I was learning Oracle, I was learning some unusual things one could do with Microsoft Excel. I also learned Peachtree for accountants and everything. So I was just learning all these things. So because the company, they felt that, oh, this guy is a good teacher, so they will teach me all those things. So after some time I started teaching people that were coming for the training. So it was a very good opportunity for me, like learn for free, so you can teach them so they can bring money. I really liked it. So I was doing the birthday thing, I was doing the Proverbs thing, and one day I was just doing my thing, and one guy just came. Those who had gone to Lagos, I had to stay in Akure because I was 9th Zonal General Secretary. I was covering Ondo and Ekiti State, so we had meetings. We had to travel across the two states and everything. That's why I had to be in Akure at that time. And the guy came back. He was like, "Wow, Jason, thank you very much. Do you know that all those proverbs you're posting, those are the things I was using for my morning devotion?" Because Lagos life, now you wake up 4 a.m. and get on the way, and you are coming back at 12 midnight. You barely had enough sleep and everything. So it was on the bus, he would be checking, oh, what has this guy posted today? So when he said it, I was like, wow, so this thing is having impact like this. I was like, okay, cool. But around that time, my wife was this person that all of you, like, she made me feel like like a jobless guy who was always on Facebook and everything. So now she's a brand strategist, social media brand strategist. So I'm always mocking. She's a mock now, like it's payback time. Like, see yourself now. When we do this thing that time, they laugh or say like, we don't get work, Abby. So now she actively encourages people to have a brand on social media. So I mean, I think that settles the idea of personal branding. Yeah. Guess what? I did maths up to PhD, right? All the maths I had done up to that time was basically classical maths, like you had differential equations, you were doing analytical stuff. But since that time, I'd always been passionate about integrating data with my work. And this is where the AI talks comes in. So I started learning Python active. Now, the first time I heard about I've always known about machine learning, right? Artificial intelligence, I've always known about those. I mean, just as words, but I couldn't really define them and everything. So after PhD, I went back to FUTA. Then that was when I met Abayo. I'd known Abayomi. Abayomi is also a part of RBF. Abayomi Olude, he just had a baby. He's also in Japan here. So he was the first person that really explained the concept of artificial intelligence, machine learning. He was the first person that explained it to me, because I had an idea what the things were. So he really clarified those things. So when I came back, ChatGPT started September 2022, I think. Yeah, September 2022, I think. So I came back to Japan December 2022. So when I came back, the whole thing was just picking up gradually. It was those days where I'll tell ChatGPT 13 combination 5. As a math person, I know 13 combination 5 is 13 factorial over 5 factorial 8 factorial. And I knew the answer. So ChatGPT would give me a wrong answer. I'll be like, guy, this thing is not correct. So that was those kind of days. So I'm sure I also helped in helping ChatGPT to learn the correct things along the line, right? Because at the end of the day, it is your interaction that makes the whole thing better. So it was not long after that time I got into a lab here. I was freelancing in the lab actually then. And then I knew that, okay, this is the main reason why I got to that lab was to learn, to really go deep into data. I didn't even know the kind of how far I wanted to go with data then. So I got to the lab and I started watching videos. So sometimes I watch some 7-hour videos. By the time it's time to implement, nothing. So I felt frustrated, like I don't waste my time, but I had nothing to show for it. So finally I stumbled on Python or python.org. So at python.org, what those ones do is the codes are there for you. So you run it, it works, and then you can now begin to tweak it and run and see what happens. Okay, why is this one 5? What if I make it 50? What happens? Okay, what if I make it 0.5? So from there, I now started learning actively. That's why my approach to teaching data today is. That's why if you go to my channel and you see anything about data, if you go to the description, you'll find a Google Drive link there where you can download the code sheet. Because I always encourage, use 2 devices. Use a device to see what I'm doing. Use another device to practice. So if I wrote 5 somewhere, change it to 50 and see what happens. Change it to 0.5, and from there you can actually pick the active thing that is happening. So in essence, so by the time I started getting the hang of that, and I was not like, okay, so I started moving gradually, and from there, so I'm addressing that part of AI, learning faster with AI now. So guess what? I started my journey learning anything about data, like what is data, from January 2023, and I started using ChatGPT to now be like, okay, to now write codes and look at the codes, look at what they look like. Then I started making different curriculum on data. Interestingly, maybe like 3 months into it, my wife was working as a brand manager for B-Dot. B-Dot is owned by one of our friends, Oyemi Joshua, who is in Tokyo now. He's been from the same school. He also attended FUTA. And so he wanted somebody to teach data. I'd taught maths on his platform, but it didn't really scale. But so he now felt data would do the job. So the little I knew, I started teaching that thing. And as I started teaching, and students were questioning me, the knowledge kept expanding. I kept discovering new things and everything. So basically, it's more like it's ChatGPT and right now I can boldly present myself as a machine learning expert, because that's what I use for my research right now and everything. So AI basically assisted me, and right now I feel very powerful. There's hardly anything anybody will ask me that, can you do this thing? And I'll be like, yes, I can do it, even if I had not known it before. In fact, I think I heard a story of somebody who just learned something using chat. Is it something LLM? What's that thing LLM? Something Google LLM or
Notebook
something
LM.
like that.
Notebook LM.
Notebook LM, exactly. So the guy learned within 24 hours and passed an exam on something he had never known before. And that's the beauty. Now, one thing I've seen about AI generally is that if you're not good, AI will expose you. That's the fact. AI will expose you. But if you are excellent already, so even something you don't know, by the time you get it out, learn that thing. Like anything I present to you, I can tell you this thing I generated from AI, but come and defend it. I'll defend it with my full chest, because after generating it, I'll master the concept, I'll master the idea. So AI has come to actually let learning become so easy. I started my YouTube channel on the 20th of February 2024, barely 2 years now. And right now I have almost 1,200. I have over 1,200 videos. AI, basically AI. Because what I do is, okay, now just today, before I started my series of meetings, I made 3 videos on stochastic processes. I learned a bit about stochastic processes in FUTA. In fact, most of the things I teach on my channel, I of course, the thing is, I had a solid math background, right? But if I now have, all I just need to know the concept, look at the math. If it's not making sense, I know. If it's making sense, I know. So one of my friends just got into Austria, getting confronted with some challenges about some of these topics. So because of him, I'm making stochastic processes. But all I just do is just give me the idea. I'll take it to ChatGPT. I need a comprehensive and systematic curriculum. That I mean, stylishly teaching you prompt engineering. Because now one thing I learned about prompt engineering is like chiking a girl until she does what you want. Like you go follow and talk, hey, babe, I like you now. For make with a C now, and she no go agree. So you go give her another format tomorrow. You keep changing your format, change your lambda until she agrees. And that's basically what prompt engineering is. So people are quick to get frustrated. So if you give AI has already told you that it can be wrong. So if you give it something and it's not giving you what you want, sometimes I'm I'm trying to achieve a result. I'm there for 1 hour just trying. So if it doesn't give me what I want, or you know, see the problem, it's now finally gives me what I want. Now I want to optimize. I want to get the best out of what it's giving me because it's free now. So in fact, if I had put in 1/4 of the effort in the past, like all the effort I used that 1 hour, I would have just used it to look for textbook, to go and look for textbook in the library first. And I may even read and not understand. For me, I'm not a book person. I'm a video person. I want to be taught. I want to see. I'd rather watch a YouTube video than go and read a textbook. I'm not restless. I'm not so comfortable just sitting down with book. I'm not like that. But just teach me, I will get it. So that's why I prefer YouTube videos to reading books. Of course, I get to read books. I mean, the kind of books in Futa, right? Year 1, year 2, the books I was reading, I'll go to the library just to go and read encyclopedia, not my math book. But when the thing was beginning to pinch me in 300 level, that was when I would now go to the library and look for math book. And immediately I got whatever I was looking for, I'll stop and leave there. I'm digressing too much, right? So prompt engineering, of course, you already have a format, like you've been given the format, like as a mathematician, trying to do this and that and that and that, help me do this. So it will give you something you don't like it. So sometimes even in creating the curriculum, if I say, I need a curriculum to teach stochastic processes on YouTube, make it comprehensive and systematic. So it brings it out. Most of the time, AI doesn't give you the best at first. So once it gives you that one, you can now say, okay, this thing you have done, make it, kill it, like make it more solid, make it excellent. So it will now give you, and that's exactly all the books since we started Rory Boys Forum. It took me 13 years to write my first book. Actually, I started writing my first book in 2009. That's 2009. It only got published in 2022, 13 years after. But from January till now, I've written like 11 books. And why? AI. So every quarter, from January to like this Friday that just passed, I just finished my book on mathematics without equations, and that is what I've been posting. And by Monday, I'm going to be starting a mathematical journey through the Bible. I want to see all the mathematical snapshots, the design, mathematics, sequences, and all of that through the whole Bible. I'm starting that on Monday. I'm able to say this confidently because of AI. And when you see the book, you will see the citation, you see the references, all the books, they exist and everything. So everything is just, so AI is so, I mean, if you are not, and that's why I like the idea, at some point we're learning computer appreciation, right? Or computer literacy. Now it has to be AI literacy. Whatever you are doing, somebody was asking in the next 2 to 3 years, what should we be doing? The thing is evolving so fast that if you say you are, in fact, today you see many videos on YouTube and they say, if you are learning data analytics, you are wasting your time. I think I want to agree with them. So you have to be ready. Like, where else are they going? Go and wait for them there. So because the thing, it's 6 months. Like I said, the turnover time for any technology is 6 months. So get set. Like, okay, what is the next thing? In fact, sometimes sit down. If I ask Margaret told you that ask AI on how to detect AI video, it will tell you. Now, if you are looking for a job, you'll be going to maybe higher education or clinical. If I'm looking for a job, I just go to Grok and say, I have a PhD in mathematical biology. I need a job by this time, and it will tell me instead of looking at job sites, it will aggregate everything and give me specifically what I want, and I'm not wasting my time at all. So yeah, so it's AI has really enhanced my productivity, and people keep wondering, oh, how do you do these things? You are writing book, you are doing YouTube videos, you are doing this. Well, of course, God now number one, because now that thing you said the other time, somebody said some people are trying to get something from AI. So I'll go on the same computer and I will just type something and they will get it in. And I'm like, now the same computer, now the same you. In fact, now your computer self will be my own. So you won't think I've done something special. So people still have that struggle. So sometimes what you think is very common is not that common. Like it was this Sam Aluko, one OAU economist that time said, common sense. Economics is the common sense that is not so common. That way you raised your hand the other time. Am I talking too much?
When you were talking about maybe when you were making a comment on the guys, something came to my mind. I was like, maybe learning to learn is an essential skill.
Exactly.
So that you could evolve fast as it evolves.
Yes. So if there's any skill anybody should be looking for here, number one, AI is already there as your learning assistant, research assistant. Even sometimes if you people are taking it to extremes, like getting medical advice and wondering. In fact, people have died getting AI advice. So you don't want to go that berserk, right? But I think that you have finished it, learning to learn. Can you sit down with AI and learn something new? Now, these days I'm learning theology. I'm doing theology school level theology learning by sitting with
Most
AI.
Reverend Danson.
Anything where you talk, I did. So like I think that last line is really very instructive. AI will not replace people. Maybe AI is replacing people actually, but I know a time is going to come and there will be an equilibrium, because at the end of the day, people who use AI will replace the people who don't, and that's the ultimate. Now, yesterday, as I was preparing to, there was something I was preparing for, though, and one of my friends just called from the US that, my wife. So he talks about his wife like having a challenge at work, that she had to debug something from SQL code. Now, that's another sign about personal branding. In addition to mathematics, people now know me as a data science guy, as an AI guy. So based on this alone, I've got there was this lecture, School of Physical Sciences lecture they had in Oduduwa University last year. For the first time, like in the Nigerian situation, normal me, they won't call people like me. They call like big professors who have been established. They'll fly them from somewhere to come and do the lecture. So when I got the invite, I was like, seriously? Lecture? Okay. So I had to talk about how to use AI for research and all of those things. So it means people are already getting it that, okay, this guy, if you're thinking data science and AI, go to this guy. So when I got the call, I was like, yeah, this thing done the work. So when the wife got in touch with me, I was like, okay, are you allowed to officially use AI in your company? And she was like, yes, that the coach is trying to debug. Somebody wrote it using Copilot. And now she's also able to use that. I'm like, okay, as far as AI is accepted, then we are game. Because this did ask me, can you turn white to purple? Yes. I'll say yes first. I'm going to find out how. So I think I want to stop here because I can be talking forever.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. I think that's very, 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 very insightful. And I think our talk on AI would kind of lead me to what I asked people to prepare for. I think that would lead to my own input, right, on how to design a website. So right here on this call, we'll try as much as possible to design a demo website. Maybe we can design for someone, I don't know. But yeah, we'll try as possible to design a website on this call using AI.
Can I stop presenting already?
Sir?
Can I stop the
maybe
presentation?
you can, yeah. But again, I don't know if before you stop, I don't know if there's any. Again, Doctor said a lot of things. Even right from the beginning, if you have any question about anything that we've discussed so far, please do well to kind of ask. I don't know if there's anybody that has any question concerning maybe any skill, or if you have any contribution, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, whatever it is that you want to add to whatever it is that we've spoken so far. Please do well to talk about it. Okay. Okay, I think Wisdom says he wants to say something.
All right. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Manuel for what he said. I think it's so insightful. One thing I actually came here for when I saw the AI section was how to learn. I mean, it's like how to use AI to learn. I think it is so crucial because there are just they are just crucial things to do, and AI can actually fast track that. So I think Emmanuel, I think Prof already touched that self even before I wanted to ask. So I just want to say thank you. It might take some time, but then I think it's just a privilege that I'm able to glean some insights from. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. Okay, so let's just quickly dive in because I think we have very few minutes and I think I want to run as fast as possible. If you have okay, I think somebody is on the call. I think I have a message. He said, "My name is Timothy Desai and I would like to learn websites and app programming design." Right. So I don't know if I want to. Maybe I would attend to this because I'm also trying to consider our time. But I believe that maybe even from this particular session, you probably have one or two things to grasp from it. So I just want us to quickly dive into it because we have very few minutes left, and I want to cover as much as I can before our time is up, right? So thank you. I'll just try as much as possible to share my screen. I don't know. The challenge I'm having is at the moment is sharing my screen. Okay, what's wrong
Do
with
you want to
this now?
shut down and restart and rejoin
Maybe
me?
I think I want to. I think
Maybe
that's
that
what I
would
want to.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should do. That
It's
should be
already-
better. So can everybody type one key thing you have learned today that you want to implement after now? But while we wait for that, I will. Anybody? One thing you have learned and that you want to start implementing, because that's the essence of this event. Feel free to type. If you want to talk to, feel free to unmute your mic and go ahead. Type or talk, anyone. While we wait for our moderator. Learning with AI. Okay, that's a very powerful thing. And like I said about learning with AI, if you have it, like now, Jason, my namesake, you want to learn websites and okay, Thywill is back. Okay, so let me see the floor. Okay, let me just finish up what I was saying to Jason. Like you want to learn websites and apps and programming design. So let's say you start with web design, right? So just go to any AI tool of your choice, maybe ChatGPT or Grok. Those are the top to me I use, because one thing I also try to do is I don't want to waste my time on different tools. So I want to sit with one or two. So there are some things, so there are some vibes. If I'm looking for somebody to argue with me with data, I go to Grok. Then, but most of the other things I do, I go with ChatGPT. So you can just go to either of them and tell them, okay, I want to learn website design. Give me a curriculum to learn it, and it will give it to you. Then you can prompt it again and say, make it better for a beginner, like make it efficient, and it starts telling you those things and tells you, yeah, you should do this and do that. And once you get all the clarity you need, then you can now start learning step by step. So I take it back to Thywill. You are muted.
Oh, yeah, I was saying, pardon me, please. I don't know what was when I had to change my browser, but I think I can share my screen now. I guess we all can see my screen, right?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so again, initially when I was, so please let me know if you can see my screen. What I have here is just like a Google screen, homepage screen. Please, you can just maybe signify if you can see my screen, so I'm sure that we all are on the same page. All right, thank you. So basically, when I was told, okay, I would be facilitating this, I was just thinking that, okay, digital skill, because like I said, I like practical things. I like learning through making. It's actually a research method for we who are studying design. There's something we call research through design, right? Whereby in the process of actually making things, you're researching, right? And again, I don't want it to be all talk. I also wanted us to go home with something tangible that, okay, when you're leaving this call, you could say, I can do this particular thing, which was what I was thinking, okay, what thing can I learn that could be instant on this call? And I just thought of it that it would be website. So initially I wanted to kind of prepare a slide that will do this. But I just restrained, and because I wanted also to kind of experience the whole messiness of coming up with some of these things. And again, just so that you know that anybody can do it. I don't want it too structured in a way that we would kind of like. So let's just get started, right? For today, I would probably, the number one thing is we'll decide what kind of website do we want to build. It could be a personal website. Maybe if you have a business, I don't know the nature of your business. Maybe it's a dog selling business. It's a whatever it is that you think you're doing at the moment, that would determine the kind of website. But I think for the purpose of this call, would kind of explore maybe a personal website. And for that, I don't know who can, so that it would also be practical. Do we have anybody on Discord that would love to maybe volunteer? Is that okay?
I did. You didn't whine.
So we have Doctor, right? Let's assume we are building a personal website for Dr. Emmanuel, and I want to see we'll build a because of time we'll build just a one-pager website. What I mean that by one-pager website is the website whereby pretty much all the information you need would be on that one single page. So you don't have to kind of like click on a link to go to another page. So for instance, if you go to a website, when you click on the About Us, it links you to a new page and all of that. We would not stress ourselves with all of those. So we'll build, so right here, right now, we want to build a personal website. And like he said, with the help of AI, all of these things have been made much more easier. So what would be my first step? So since I know what I'm building a personal website. I even know my audience already, Dr. Emmanuel Dansu. What do? I go to ChatGPT and say, hey ChatGPT, okay, I'm glad that this is logged out because I would not want you to see my chat history. But yeah, back to our conversation. So you see that I'm not even logged in. So you even know that as much as possible, I try to also think of a way that this could be restricted to the free tier of whatever it is. All of the tools we are using, I want to ensure that we kind of, even though it's also very good, I think you would enjoy a lot of benefit when you're using the premium version. But whatever it is we are doing, I try to restrict it to like the free version. I noticed something now. Please let me know if my screen is still sharing.
It stopped sharing. Well, I hope there's no
Yeah, we can't see it now.
in this place. I
don't
thought you
know.
removed it
I'm
yourself.
telling you.
I don't know what's wrong with. I guess I'm sharing back now.
Okay, it's coming back here.
Thank
Okay.
God.
Is there something you are closing on unintentionally?
I'm not closing anything. I think it just suddenly stops it. I don't know why.
Okay, let's hope everything is fine now.
Please, if at any time the screen stops sharing, you can just point my attention to that.
Sure.
Okay. So what I want to do first, since I have an idea of what I want to do. So what I told ChatGPT is that I'm building a personal website. Please help me list 10 personal websites that I can use as an inspiration.
So encourage, if you have your computer and you're able to, I think people can follow along to do their own.
Yes, please. So what I'm trying to do in this process, the first process is to gather inspiration or references for whatever it is I'm trying to build, because now I know what I'm trying to build. I'm building a personal website, right? What I want to do is to look for references and inspirations of what I want my website to look like. And I think it's pretty much very important, especially for people who are probably not who think, which I of course I don't even believe so, but for people who think, oh, maybe I'm not the creative type, right? This is more like a way to help you kind of guide you on what to build, right? So I will tell ChatGPT that I should please help me list 10 personal websites that I can use for inspiration for my website. I can say that it should be modern. I love simplicity, simple and functional. And okay, I can add beautiful to it. So as much as possible, the number, whatever keywords you can find to describe what you want to achieve. You might not like a simple website like me. Maybe you like very chaotic stuff. Another thing to also put in mind is that whatever it is you're designing, you want to think of the limitation of coding, right? So as much as some people like to do very beautiful but then when it comes to writing that code, it can be a bit complex to achieve. So you want to also probably keep it as simple as you want. Again, personally for me, I love simple website, right? So I can say simple, functional. Let me even say I can say maybe and very beautiful. Very beautiful. I can even I don't know if I say simple, functional. Another key adjective I like to use is minimal and very beautiful. That I can use. Sorry. It's not as if ChatGPT will not understand what I'm saying by cleaning, but I think I'm just used to that I can use as an inspiration for building my website. So ChatGPT will list out websites for us. Then it's now on you to kind of like, okay, let me see what this looks like. Do I like the format? Do I like what I have here? Okay, this is one. Do I want this? Personally, I think this is just a lot is going on here. Maybe I would not want to do this personally. Maybe I also want to improve my prompt again. I can now say, oh, doctor is an academic, right? I can say the website is so like again, like doctor explained, I think one of the very important things for AI, for you to get the best out of AI, is context. Give it a lot of context as much as you can. So I can say this website is for an for someone in the academia, a doctor to be precise, a professor.
Amil.
What other adjective can I use to describe a doctor? What is
YouTuber? Young men advocacy, but you know all those things now. YouTuber, data science, machine learning, experts, amen.
ML expert, machine. Let me use machine expert. So because we are feeding a lot of things, one thing I also want to emphasize is that please, you want to ensure, you want to make sure it keeps it simple, please. Keep. So I'm streamlining that so that
it has gone off.
Oh, wow.
It's not sharing.
I'm coming. I don't know what I did to Google Meet. I don't know who I offended. So I think it's bad. Okay, Andre Kapati. Does anybody know Andre Kapati here?
I don't.
He's probably one of the founders of he's one of the engineers, founding people of OpenAI, and he was one that coined the word vibe coding. So if you hear
wow.
Vibe today, he's the people that crafted the word vibe coding. Okay, this might be looking like it because I think he's also a researcher, right? I don't know if we want to follow. So again, I'll
he tends to capture the kind of things I do somehow.
So maybe we want to follow his format, right? We can look for another person just to check if myself. I think Andre Kapati's website is too crowded. This is too basic though. Because I'm a designer, I feel like I want to have some aesthetic effect to it. So the goal is to just keep refining, like Prof said, till you feel like you get what you want, or what looks like a vision of what you want. Since we probably will go with, so that we don't waste our time, I think we probably will go with Andre Kapati, because I think most of these ones I'm seeing here, they are not necessarily not. Oh, okay. These are now too simple. I'm sorry. Let me just give it one last prompt. Are too simple. Can we have some aesthetic modern feel to it? Okay, still gives us Andre Kapati. Maybe Andre Kapati would be our guy then. Oh my. Okay. So again, this is probably your own research phase, identifying what exactly you want. Like I said, I don't want us to waste time here because we have a lot of things to do. But let's just stay with Andre Kapati, right? Now, this is Andre Kapathi's website. What do I want to do? One of the things I want to do is I want to feed the AI I'm using this particular website, and I want to tell it to help me model it just this way. We are still in the ChatGPT phase. So I have a plugin in Chrome that can help me convert this whole website into a PNG or a PDF. and that's what I will go for. The name of the plugin is on Chrome we call it Go Full Page. You just search for Go Full Page Chrome extension. It's an extension, a Chrome extension. Once you search for it, you should be able to have it on your Chrome right there. I don't know if it's on other browsers, but I use Chrome immediately. So if I click on this Go Full Page, it tries as much as possible to capture the whole screen. One thing that I think that is important that I did not add to my prompt was that I wanted a one-pager website. So if you notice this particular website, this app has done it for me. It would actually link us to, I feel like, although I think it's a one-pager. Okay, I think it's actually a one-pager, right? Yeah, but yes. So I wanted to say I want to specify that I want a one-pager website. I don't know if I specified that in my original prompt. If I said one-pager, let me just add that to it if I can get it. Again, I think this is where the work also depends on our okay, let's see what this one looks like. This guy does not. So I think we have Andre Kapati again. I think we just have to go with Andre Kapati. So I can download this either as a PDF or as a PNG. The goal is to, let me see if that captures it enough. Okay, amazing. So I have the PNG downloaded on my phone already. What I want to do, I see go back to ChatGPT. Please let me know if you can still hear me.
Yes, I still hear you. I believe others should be.
Okay, so let me open another ChatGPT session because I know they would limit me if I type another thing here. But let me just open another ChatGPT session right here. Now I have downloaded let me stay logged out. I've downloaded the PNG. I hope you guys saw the way I used the plugin, right? I want to make sure that we are also not missing anything. Please, you can just maybe signify or something so I know that nobody is lost to whatever it is I'm doing.
They are signifying with the emojis.
Thank you. So yeah, I've brought in my, what's it called? My reference, or yeah, let me just call it my reference. So we have our reference here, which is Andre Kapathy. What I want to do is now I want to prompt this guy that I am giving. So we are using a platform called Lovable. Lovable helps to build websites and applications with prompts, right? And one of the things we want to do at this stage is that we want to make sure our prompt for ChatGPT is as extensive as possible, because we want it to do it at once. Because again, if you're using Lovable, you have limitations to AI credits, right? I think you can only do, I don't know, depending on the number of credits, and credits that's also another conversation on its own, right? But you want to make sure you kind of like stay within the free option you're given, right? But again, I would advise, if you want to enjoy a lot of freedom and enjoy your design, I think I would advise that you pay if you can afford that. But yeah, we have our stuff with ChatGPT now, so I can tell ChatGPT I am designing this website for Dr. Emmanuel Dansu from Tohoku University. Now I want to do the lazy work. Again, if you're designing a website, I believe you should have your content ready, and AI is also one thing to help you generate content. So I can just tell ChatGPT to help me source for every possible information about Emmanuel Dansu and replace it with this. Yes, please source of me and help me use it to place and help me replace it with with the current content in the attached PDF. I can even tell ChatGPT that it doesn't have to. You can remove the that does not, that is not applicable. That is.
Can't see your phone.
Oh wow!
Stop sharing. Sorry.
I don't know what I did to. I don't know if there's a setting that is making this. Please let me just quickly check maybe my settings or something that is probably prompting this not to share. I don't know. Again, I also do not want to waste time. Let me just reshare again. Also, help me generate a prompt for Lovable AI to help to use this as reference and use it as reference to design if the content you generated. So I can now, so this is where creativity also comes in. You don't want to kind of now limit it to maybe just what you saw. So if I'm on Andrew Kapati's website, and maybe Kapati's website is white, he has a lot of white background, I love that. I can tell what's it called? ChatGPT that I want a black themed website, right? Instead of a white themed website. So I can tell you that okay, I want mine to be black themed instead of white in the current attached reference. Now there are a lot of nuances depending on the kind of website that you're designing that you kind of instruct AI. The goal of this section is this. I think if you're doing AI assisted coding, like we'll call it, one of the things you want to do most times is that you want to let AI create the prompt from you. You want to allow AI communicate with AI because we are using another AI to design our website. As much as you could go there and say, okay, let me prompt it to, it would not be extended. And especially if you're not a designer or you're not a developer, you would not understand some of the terms that AI uses, right? So you want AI to communicate because you're using two different AI. You want one AI to communicate with another AI in its language. That way, it makes whatever it is you're designing very effective and fast and easy to get through with. Right. So I think again there are a lot of things we can put here, but for the sake of our time, I think we have oh boy, we are almost I think the time is almost up, right? I will just put this in and let ChatGPT do its thing. God, please look at somebody's profile. God, when?
I don't know, say don't become Thywill Whiners.
So, oh, why did I tell this? Where's my prompt for Lovable? Oh, I think there's a mistake. Oh yeah, I thought it was information about source about human. I need a single prompt for it. Use this. Okay, I think it has generated it. Okay. How do we display featured? So now this is like content of our website. I'm trying to ensure that this guy gets it very well. There's a lot we can put. So this particular prompt is what I'll use, but I feel like we can still kind of edit it. So you could copy this and maybe go and edit it on your own. But like I said, I'm not sure we have the luxury of time to be going back and forth. Our time is almost up, but I wanted us to just come up with something so that we can see. So I'll just copy this as it is, right? And I'll I think I've copied the prompt. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's anything I should add here that is missing. Education, publication, academic experience. I think it does not even add any section concerning YouTube. That's what I'm trying to. I don't know if it has something like that. But like I said, you could also add that in the prompt that, oh, I wanted to include that this person is also a YouTuber, blah, 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 and all of that. So, yeah, that's by the way. So, let me just go to the next thing. So, we can now go to a website like lovable.dev. If you go to lovable.dev, is one good platform to generate websites with prompts. So, I can say login, and then let me just use a Google account. Let me look for one account that I think I'm not using. Okay, let me use this. Okay, continue. So this is a fresh account, so I would take advantage of the free. Let me just say, yeah, let me just put it like this. I can't put anything. Okay, so we have our setup, right? We have the platform for Lovable. So what I want to do now is in Lovable, I would come and drag in my reference again. Right. I have my prompt already created in ChatGPT. And like I said, if you really want to take the best advantage of this, ensure that your prompt is well refined. The contents are what you want exactly. But like I said, we can't be going back and forth with the refinement here because of our time. Our time is up already. So I'll just paste what we have currently, and then we prompt it to do its thing. So yeah, Lovable does its thing, and while we wait, so I think this will probably take a while. I don't know if there's any question at this moment. While we wait for it to do its thing, if you have any question, any observation, maybe while I was doing anything, there was something that you probably do not understand, please let me know. Anybody, any question? Okay, so it seems like everybody's game. Okay, so our guy is still trying to set this up. I don't know how long this will take though, bro. While we are waiting for it, I also do not want just to just stay idle. Please, any question, if you have, maybe even not necessarily from my own session, or anything you want to talk about AI generally, or maybe just about skills generally, you can. I think this is also a perfect time to bring that up while we are waiting for our Lovable to finish generating whatever it is it's generating. And maybe I'll start calling him. Maugbe, I've not heard your voice. Okay, it's like Maugbe is sleeping already. Who has not speaking on this call? I don't know. I don't know who Sunday Ayodeji is, but I think
that's our Oga, your fellow Americana.
Oh, really? Interesting. I have not heard from maybe someone like that. Maybe I think he was not in the call from start.
He came in along the line. So maybe now that the spotlight is on him, maybe he can tell us what the Lord is saying.
Okay, I think Lovable is done. So, Dr. Emmanuel Dansu, let me tell this to open up. Where is this guy? So this is what we have. Now, this is what we have for Dr. Emmanuel Dansu. We have a full functioning website. I could add pictures, but because I did not feed ChatGPT with Dr. Emmanuel's picture, right? It did not add picture, but it kind of basically gave us maybe whatever it is you find on the. And again, I edited it to be a black background. I told him I don't want white. So even now, when you look at it, nobody can now say, "Oh, why did you copy Andre Kapati's website?" Even just the simple tweak of color. I think I've added my own creativity elements to it to kind of make it more personal now, not just kind of copying something random out there, right? Maybe if I want to add more, I don't know if I still have more credit. I can say, oh yeah, help me add, then contact, and this is a one page website. I can now tell it to help me add. Maybe if I can look for doctor's picture. I don't know if I have credit. Let me just okay. Okay, I think I would prefer to use this. Yeah, I'm looking for trouble.
If I catch you, now for you.
Okay, so I can see as these as let me just see what our website looks like one bit. Yeah. So, sure. This side picture in the hero section. Now a lot of people might be wondering what an hero section is. Hero section is just like the first part of the website. I know it's not we didn't talk about this. This is probably one of the things that we should have considered in our prompt in ChatGPT. Tell ChatGPT that you can even tell ChatGPT that all of you have your pictures that you want to replace with what you have currently. So you can tell ChatGPT to help you replace with the pictures. We have in the reference. Okay, so skip. No. So voila. We have Dr. Emmanuel's picture. Why is this not loading? I think okay, still kind of. I think it's done.
Perfectly done, man. Wow.
So this why is it not showing in the new latest? Okay, it's no, it's not showing yet. Okay, this is a cache problem now. I think this is a cache problem. But yeah, let me just try and publish so we can round this up. I want to publish this now. No, Dr. Emmanuel, no. Can't see Dr. Emmanuel. Okay, so why are you not? So again, I think it's going to be hard to be looking for name. Let me just use the default name. So yeah, I want it to go public. Then just oh, my battery is low. My charger is not here. I'm coming. I can decide to change this icon if read to his picture. Please give me a moment. I want to pick. I noticed my battery is low. I want to pick my charger.
And the Igberaga because light they always day too far away.
I don't. I can't even see the picture I downloaded of Doctor now. I don't know where it can go. Yeah, save image. Okay, my system is already getting slow. That's a sign that I should charge my. Okay. So is my my screen rather still sharing?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
So
yes.
again, let me quickly replace this. So again, the fav icon is just to explain. If you check my browser tab, you see all of these little logos that are on top of my browser tab. This ChatGPT small icon that are here. That's what it's requesting for by fav icon, by saying fav icon. And I just want to use this image. Then description, just a description about the website and all of that. I don't want to waste more. I know our time is fast, and let's just continue to publishing. Okay, it's okay. So while this is publishing, maybe we want to go back to. Okay, I think we are good.
So, like, can you have so you can do a fully functional website with this?
Yeah. So this is a website hosted on their platform. I can send this to you now to connect it to, which I'm pretty sure we will not be able to talk about again today. So to now connect this to like a domain name. So for instance, if I want to connect what I have here now, I have a link for this already, which I'll paste in the chat for all of us to view. Anybody can access that website at the moment. But to make it now more custom, like dremmanuel.com, you have two options. Unlovable themselves. So as you can all see now, we have the website in itself already functional right here, right before us. For us to make it fully functional or more customized, of course, we don't want to use this dark academic, blah, blah, blah. We could change this to maybe Dr. Emmanuel Dance, but you also don't want to include this lovable app thing. They have an option. Is either you kind of like upgrade to their premium version. So if I'm here and I say, where is that now? If I say I want to add custom domain, if I say I should add custom domain, it would ask me that I should upgrade to a pro version. Now that's for maybe the general knowledge, but for some of us that have like some bit of maybe technical knowledge, one of the things I want to do is that you see all of this, right? It allows me to synchronize my project with GitHub. That means my code base rather could be on GitHub. So if I connect GitHub to this particular thing, right, that means all of the code that was used to generate this website will be sent to GitHub. And if I have it on GitHub, that means I have a lot of freedom with my code. And from GitHub, I could connect it to a platform like Vessel where it can now allow me to connect a custom domain. Now, I know all of those are a lot of technicalities. We will try and organize another session to walk through that. But the basic thing that I want us to get, if you go through the website at the moment, you see that the website in itself is live. The only thing we probably would need to do is the connection of the old coding and all of that. The old domain so that it looks professional. We want to connect it to like dremmanueldansu.com. But in terms of the design and how it looks, I think we are pretty much good to go. So please let me know if you have any question. I really wish that we could maybe touch the connection of domain, but I think our time is fast spent already. We probably want to stop.
Yeah, I mean, you have done what more than what Napoleon could do. So, but the fact that you have even introduced us to the concept, I think it's a nice one already. Like people can take this up from here.
Yeah, actually,
interestingly, I've had struggles. I've wasted money. I've given people money for websites, and at the end of the day, I'm not able to use it. So,
and even I think a simple prompt. So, for instance, maybe for somebody like you that has given money, maybe those money could just use to get a pro account.
Exactly, and I suspect it won't be as expensive.
Yes, I think their pro account is just around maybe $20 or something.
Can you imagine per month?
Yeah.
Oh my sure.
And with pro accounts, you don't even need to limit yourself to maybe this one page. You can design it to your satisfaction.
A solid one.
As much as you
maybe
want.
I'll work towards that.
So I think that's something you'd enjoy if you can do that. You can do whatever it is you want to do, whatever modification. You can even down to animations. If you maybe after this, I want it to be my YouTube. Maybe some introduction to my YouTube video that I want to. Okay,
Like I
maybe
can have a blog. I can sell. I can have a
whatever
place
it is. Exactly.
to sell my books on the site and everything.
Exactly. Whatever
Interesting.
you want to do, you can go on. So I
Maybe,
think the
maybe
major
this is
thing
the
is
goal
context.
ultimately.
Sir?
I guess this will be the goal ultimately. Like something I can also be in charge of. I don't need to
Exactly.
chase after someone.
The major thing is context. So far, you can give it a reference that, hey, this is what I want it to look like, and give it your own information. I think you're good.
Right.
I think that's the whole idea I want us to get from this. That have something in mind that you want, provided with something you want it to look like, combined with your own personal information that you want to feed it. And I think you should be good to go. Any questions? So concern, and if you have any, maybe if you're trying this out and you have any, maybe you don't want to do the pro and you probably need any additional guidance on how to connect it using a back-end method, you can also reach out. And trust me, I think something like ChatGPT is also a good help. So for instance, if this guy is allowing me connect it to Codebase, one of the things I could ask ChatGPT is that, hey, I have my design on a GitHub repository. How can I upload it, or how can I add a custom domain to it to go live? I even think GitHub themselves, I'm not sure, but let me check. I think GitHub themselves could actually even allow you host a website on their platform now, not just a repository now, if I can remember. That should be. I'm trying to remember where I saw them. No. Maybe settings. Where's settings? Settings. Okay, okay, let me check. I can't remember where exactly, honestly, but I think that I know if I Google or do some ChatGPT, I probably would look for. I know I came across something like that some times ago, right? But at the moment, I can't recall it. But again, I'm just saying all of that to say that there are several options that you could even explore. That's if you don't want to pay for like the premium account, right? And me, I even feel like I even like what it generated for. Maybe there's my own bias for Dr. Emmanuel than the original website that we even tried to model it across. But yeah, I think that's all we have for today. I don't know if anybody still has any question. If not, I think we'll be bringing this to a close.
Thank you so much, Oga Programs. Any information for us before we go? I think he has left. Maybe let's just round off. I mean, it's been a very insightful session. Thank you for moderating. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
See you in the group. Like, you can ask further questions about everything we've talked about. I mean, this is by far one of the most impactful sessions ever because it's practical and we can all pick vital lessons from here. Thank you very much. God bless you. You're a great facilitator, by the way. Like, I never expected it to be this sweet. I thought you were going to give us your geeky side. Thank you.
Okay, everyone.
All right, bye, people. Yeah. So if you have questions, feel free to. Timothy Josiah, are you in the WhatsApp group, Timothy?
I think he's probably not there, and I'm not sure if I have the link to that though.
Okay, can somebody quickly share the link to our WhatsApp group? Let me see if I can quickly get it. I'm trying to pull it up. I hope I can. Should be now RBF, have you?
Yes.
It's going to answer me again. But it's okay. Sometimes when you're under pressure, there's a tendency to forget stuff. Okay, so I've put it in your WhatsApp chat. So the first to copy and paste wins.
Copy link.
This thing now it's trying to start again. Why now? Okay,
So yeah,
since you do it first, that works.
you have the.
Okay.
I think you have the group link now.
Yeah, Josiah, please click on that so we can, because we are signing out right away. Thank you.
I'm sorry for cutting. I think I think we went beyond the designated time.
No, this happens all the time because if something is too sweet, it's hard to stop.
I wasn't because I felt like the technical part was the connection of the domain name itself. Maybe
yeah, no stress.
You could ask another question. So thank you very much, everybody. I think Josiah, I think by now you should probably have seen the whole WhatsApp thing.
Have you, Josiah?
If they end the call, you probably would not be able to access it again.
Or you can send it to him directly if he's not able to get it.
I don't know. I don't have his contact or anything.
Oh, you sounded like he's your guest.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay, no stress then. All right. Okay. If you know Josiah, please send him that link. I suspect you know someone here. Okay, bye. See you people.